Hey, this is Marlon from marlonmcpherson.com, and today we're going to be talking about imposter syndrome and whether or not we can actually overcome that. Now, this is something that I've struggled with personally, and I've taken steps to overcome that. I'm not sure if I've totally eradicated it, but this is something that I guess will always be in the back of people's minds, especially when it comes onto content creation online, because the whole idea of imposter syndrome is us questioning ourselves, having an internal way of thinking that says you're not good enough, or you're questioning your authority. Am I able to teach this thing? Have I got enough experience? Maybe I'm too young. People are going to judge me. People are going to say, who are you to tell me this? Every content creator, I'm pretty sure, has had struggles with imposter syndrome. You're worried that someone's going to call you out and say, hey, you, what are you talking about? Who are you? You don't know anything. When in reality, you do know what you're talking about. And you're just putting all these thoughts in your head. I've done that. And that's prevented me from actually making steps and, making progress in what I'm there to really do, which is to help other people. So whether it is you're trying to put a content out online or, put your hand up and say, look, I can help somebody out in a local community club that I'm in, and I want to be able to present myself as somebody that can help based on, the fact that I'm interested and I've actually got some information that could be useful and I've got some ideas. That's all it takes. You need to be a couple of steps ahead of somebody else for them to learn from you. So I'm going to go through about 10 points here that some of which I've used to actually help me to actually overcome imposter syndrome, so that I can show up for you and do content like this without having to think about what other people are thinking about me, right? So, number one is to make it about them, not you. So what that means is that you're not going to focus on you and how great you are and, try to be some sort of celebrity or anything like that. That's not what content creation is about, or content marketing. It's about sharing value, and it's about helping people. It's about putting yourself out there to be a guiding light to somebody else who is behind you, and you want to see them succeed. You want to see them make progress. If you look at it selfishly as, oh, do you know what? I've got this product I want to sell. I've got this service and I want people to find out about my service, right? So this is the only reason I'm doing this content, because I want them to find the content. Then they'll see that I sell the service. Then I can pitch them, right? Look, it needs to be off service, first of all, to other people. And that's where the thinking is wrong. So if you approach it like that, no doubt you're not going to get the results that you expect. That's when people are going to call you out on the BS and say, look, why are you even telling me this? You just want me to buy your product, right? If you come at it from an angle of, you know what, I'm being of service to you and not asking for anything back, you need to be giving selflessly to the point where people are asking you, how can I give you back something? How can I be of service back to you? Can I donate to you? Can I buy something from you? People will be asking you for that anyway. So it's like the thing where you do good and good will follow you. I've heard that since I was a kid, and that is true. I don't know how it works. I guess the universe, the laws of the universe, or how, society's set up is that people like to reciprocate when somebody has been generous to them and someone's been good to them. They feel like they have to do something back for that person. And that's great. So things will work out. What you need will come back to you as long as you put yourself in a position of helping other people. So make it about them. So that's my point. Number two is to be true. I've got my notes here. So number two is to be true to who you are right now. So be true to who you are now, not somebody else that you'd like to emulate, who you're looking at their journey, or you're looking at where they are now, and you're trying to be like them out the gate. You're trying to do what they do out the gate, but you haven't actually taken a step back to say, look, hang on. They started from nothing, or they started from here, and I need to go through that journey to get to where they are now. But no, you don't think about it like that. A lot of the times we think about, okay, I see you doing that thing. I see you have this kind of production value. I see you presenting in a certain way. I see you talking about this and that and the other, and you're seamlessly doing it. How can I get that? Now, if you position yourself as some guru or try to position yourself as some know-it-all expert, then it's going to put a lot of pressure on you if you're not yet at that point. It's going to put a lot of pressure on you to come up with what you're going to share with people, what you're going to talk about, and to keep up appearances, keep up that facade, knowing that people are going to call you out if they realize that you are faking it. That is when you're going to really get called out on, being an imposter, because you're not being true to who you are now. Instead, you need to, like I said, be a few steps ahead of somebody in order to help them. So instead of saying, look, I'm this big guru or this big expert, position yourself as somebody that's on a journey, and you're there to share that journey as you learn, and other people can, in doing so, learn from you as well. That's going to do two things for you. One is going to take the pressure off of you to say, like, look, I don't need to deliver like I'm some sort of expert, because I'm still learning this thing myself, or I'm still trying to figure this out myself. And two, it puts you at a level where people can relate to you more, because now they're looking at you like, oh, that's my sister, that's my brother. They're just like me. They're pretty much like where I am now, except they're like maybe a couple of steps ahead. And I can totally relate to the things that they're going through, because I've been through some of it already, or they can relate to what I'm going through because they've already been through it. So that gives you the advantage of being able to be relatable, and people trust you even more because they know you don't have some sort of hidden agenda, ulterior motive, that you're just there to capitalize on their need. So if you come from a position of, this is who I am, being real, being true, being authentic, that's what it means to be authentic, and not be a pretender and live your life on false pretenses, pretending to be somebody else that you aspire to be. Obviously, make it clear where you're headed and what the journey is going to be like for you, what you expect the journey to be like. And if people want to follow you, which they will, if they're interested in what you do and on the same path as you, you will be able to build an audience that way, because at the end of the day, people like the camaraderie. They like the fact that they have somebody that they can look at and say, look, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's what it comes down to. So number 3 is to surround yourself with positive and motivated people. And this is really a big one. I've heard that you're the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. I'll let that sink in. Think about how many people, or the types of people that you have around you most of the time. Are they adding value to your life? Are they actually thinking positively? Are they doing things within their lives to take steps towards their goals, and in so doing, motivating you? Are they actually saying things to you that's helping you to overcome struggles? Are they helping you by motivating you in any way? So these are the things that you need to think about. The way that we're kind of like conditioned from childhood to be a certain way. And we obviously have people in our community or friends that we grew up with, and maybe they had limiting beliefs. Your parents probably had limiting beliefs that, okay, you can't be so and so, you can't do this because that's not how you do things, and play it safe and all of these things. And we've always been told to hold back and be mediocre, pretty much. And the people that are successful, if you check their upbringing and the journey that they've been through, maybe they've been brought up like the type of person I've just explained, where they've had limiting beliefs, but they've somehow managed to surround themselves with people that changed that mindset, that changed that thinking. And as a result, they started on the trajectory of building wealth and building the things that they wanted to achieve, the successes that they wanted to achieve. And they carried on, and they were motivated because they were around people like them. They were around people that were after the same things. And as a result, they were able to have that momentum behind them because they've had that positive reinforcement to help them make that decision. So my challenge to you, I'll challenge you to Look at who you're spending most of your time with, the types of people. I'm not saying cut people off. If you have to, then you have to, but you need to make a conscious decision about how you spend your time around people and who you spend it with. And are these people adding value or taking away value? Are they creating positive mindsets and ways of thinking? Or are they adding to the negativity and your lack of self-belief? Number 4 is to share not just your wins, but also your failures. Failures, to me, I'd like to call them learning experiences or learnings, but for most people, they'll say failures. Oftentimes we hear people talk about overnight successes and how people have made it big or they've done something, whether this is in music or in business or whatever else. What they don't actually pay attention to is that these people aren't actually overnight successes. Most of the times they have been grafting and doing things that they've failed at for many, many years before they've actually struck gold. You have to, as an entrepreneur, or as someone that's driven towards achieving a goal, you're going to have to try things. You're going to have to keep plodding on and keep just inching towards your successes. And in doing so, you're going to have many failures because you have to go through those things that doesn't work in order to get to the things that does work. And if you give up at the very start, obviously you're not cut out for this. If you give up at the first sign of failure or what you classify as failure, which I now classify as learning experiences, and I'll explain in a minute, then you probably aren't cut out for this. So the reason why I say these things are learning experiences, if you normally when you try to go after something and maybe in the end it doesn't work out, I believe that you still gain a whole bunch of different things that really is positive, such as you might gain new skills because you've had to learn how to do a particular thing in order to try and get the outcome that you're looking for. And had you not been pursuing that thing, you wouldn't have gotten those skills, whether this is learning how to shoot video, learning how to do public speaking, or learning how to, I don't know, whatever it is, you name it. If you don't pursue certain things and fail, you don't learn anything. So you learn what not to do. That's one thing for next time. And you learn, again, like I said, new skills. And this all adds in together and has like a compounding effect where all these little learnings throughout the failures, quote unquote failures, you develop, you build more value that you can then go on to using to helping other people, because you're sharing that and they can see that, okay, you've done this and you haven't really made it through to the end, or it turned out to be a failure, but here's why it failed. You can analyze, you can actually share that information. Here's what you think you did wrong and what you would have done differently, that kind of thing. It's all about being authentic. People see that and they'll trust you even more because they realize, you know what, this person is real. They're not just there to give me some fluff and to make it look like it's all, bees and honey and whatever else. It's just here. They're here to really tell it to me straight as it is. And it's down to me to really take on board what they're saying and decide whether or not I want to, dip my foot in this or dip my foot in that, because they've already done it and said this is the result they get. Doesn't mean that they're going to fail at it too. But if they do, they've learned something, right? They can experience it for themselves and they can actually go through that process and get those learning experiences. So the next one, number 5, is to have a plan and stick to it. I'm going to say it's far easier to get shaken by criticisms and people passing remarks and things like that about what we're doing. It's far easier to get shaken. I can't even speak, to get shaken by these things if we don't know what we're actually about, what we're doing, what we're headed towards, right? If you have a goal in mind and you have something that you ultimately are trying to achieve with this. For me, I plan to share all my knowledge with you so that you can get the financial freedom that you need using the skills that you have to build an online business. So I've got knowledge around marketing, around content marketing, which is what I'm talking about a lot of the times. I have website skills. I'm able to build sales funnels. I've built these things for myself, and I'm continuing to experiment with things. And I'm trying to teach people and give the information away for free through my videos and through my content, so you can take it away and execute on it. That's my goal. I plan to share. I'm not going to, if I die tomorrow, what's my legacy? Oh, he's tried this and he's tried that, but what has he left? If I've left a positive impact on other people, whether it's through changing their lives by giving them the information they need or through working with them in some way, shape, or form on a project, then this is something that I can leave behind as a legacy for my kids. They can see and say, look, my dad did this, and they can be proud. So everyone's got their own way of looking at their ultimate goal and why they're doing something. Again, it cannot be selfish motivations, right? Because if it is, it's only going to take you so far, period. So at the end of the day, I have a plan of action. I know exactly what I need to do, which is putting out the content like I am doing to help you. And I know what systems to put in place and so on. And I'm busy working on these things all the time. So I don't have time to see or to even think about, oh, what's so-and-so thinking about me? What they're talking about online about me? Is anyone passing a bad comment on my YouTube channel right now or whatever it is? But listen, you wouldn't have time to worry about that if you have a plan. And besides, the people that you're helping will always come to your defense. If you're doing good, good will follow you, right? I've seen people lay into the comments on YouTube, on Facebook or wherever, where trolls have just gone onto people's channels or their accounts and started to cause problems by putting negative comments on there and stuff like that. And, the audience just come together and start, getting rid of these people and just bury them right there and then. So you don't have to worry about these things. Again, do good and good will follow you. The next point is that I want you to, the next point is number 6. We're talking about read motivational books. That's point number 6, is to read motivational books. This is something that's tremendously helpful for me in helping me to change my mindset and to keep me motivated and to keep me positive and energized. And just like food that you put in your body, if you eat junk all the time, you're going to get sick, or you're probably going to end up with some long-term health issue because of the fact that you're eating too much junk food. Whereas if you eat healthier foods, you're less likely to become ill and you're more likely to have a longer life. The same thing is for the mind. You have to feed your mind with positive food, all right? Not food that you eat, but you have to feed your mind with positive things that you take in through what you watch, what you listen to, what you read. And reading is something that is a great way for you to actually get knowledge and get insights into what you're trying to accomplish, and also get positive reinforcements by reading motivational books. So I tend to listen to audiobooks nowadays because I don't have time to sit down and read, because I'm so busy with all the other stuff that I'm doing, that sitting down and reading a book, very rarely I have time to sit and read. So I tend to get audiobooks, and the ones that I really, really love, I'll probably buy the physical version or the Kindle version. However, if you pick out books that you feel that are helpful in your niche, or just ones that are generally mindset orientated, and they kind of help you have that shift that you need really to keep motivated, then go ahead and do that. So I have a couple of books in mind that I'm going to recommend. One is The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. This is about morning routines and just really about taking charge of your whole your time throughout your day, so that you can always be productive and have that positive momentum behind you, if that's the phrase I'm looking for. I don't know right now. The next book is The 10X Rule. This is by Grant Cardone. This book is quite an extreme one. It's more about motivating you to take action, right? And it's about preparing your mind and preparing your mind for what it actually takes to achieve success. And oftentimes, to give you a hint, it's a lot more energy that you need to put into what you're doing than what you think you need to put in. So check out those 2 books. If you got any recommendations for me as well that's similar, leave them in the comments and I'll check them out on Amazon. Number 7, I hope I'm on the right one. Yeah, number 7 is to be accountable to someone. And what that means is that you're going to have to declare what your plans are, what you're trying to do to other people if you have a good chance of achieving them or even attempting to execute on them. I find that if you do things in isolation, sometimes I think about ideas and things that I want to do and I don't tell anyone. And then it turns out that, oh, you know what? I start procrastinating and I start thinking, oh, I can do it next year or next week or next month or whenever. But had I told someone that I'm going to do it imminently, they will be checking on me. They'll be like, oh, hang on, what about that thing that you said you were going to do? Have you done it yet? And I don't want to be seen as flaky or somebody that's not a man of my word. So I tend to follow through quite often on the things that I say that I'm going to do when I share with other people. So this could be one other person, or it could be a group of people, family members or friends, or it could be people online in a community. You could profess that, okay, this is what I want to achieve in the next couple of months or whatever it is. And you would take steps towards learning or making sure that you achieve that thing. It's much more likely to do so when you declare it. So that's one thing that I would suggest that you try. Number 8 is invest in yourself, right? This is something that's really important. A lot of the times we hold ourselves back because we feel like, okay, I'm not good enough. That's the whole argument we have with ourselves, right? I'm not good enough to do this thing. I don't know enough about this topic or this subject. I don't have this skill, so I won't do this. I won't produce videos because I don't know how to edit videos. I don't know how to work a camera. I won't record a podcast because I don't know how to set up the equipment and all of that kind of stuff. And you give yourselves excuses as to why you don't want to do something. But here's the thing. You have to develop. You have to invest in yourself. And as a result, you then are able to help other people and make progress for yourselves and them. It's just period, right? You have to start doing those things. Now, it's very easy to learn lots of new skills online by just consuming free content on YouTube, on blogs. The information is there. The thing is, you have to curate it. You have to go through and find what's good and what's not. And then, make sense out of the noise that's there. But if you find a particular thing that you want to learn and you have somebody that is, really there giving out quality content, just stick with that one. You don't have to be that zigzagging and yo-yoing all over the place to try and pick up content. If you don't have time to do that, take an online course. There's lots of online courses on pretty much all kinds of topics that you can learn new skills affordably through just taking video courses, or it could be written courses, whatever it is. Take an online course, or you could hire someone to teach you one-on-one, whether this is virtually over the internet, or it could be physical if you've seen them, if you are able to, meet with them. And you can learn that way as well, or take a local college course, even though I think that college courses are not as focused on necessarily accomplishing a particular task. They're more general. So I'm really big on online courses. I do have courses myself that I teach within my niche and of music production, that is. And I also have content and training programs that I'm going to be running on the online marketing business space under the Marlon McPherson brand. So look out for that in future. However, going back to the point is that you have to invest in yourself in order to make progress and not remain stagnant. Once you start investing in yourself more and start taking those actions, you'll feel more positive. You'll feel more confident to then go out and put yourself out there. Okay. This is going to be a big one. Accept imperfections. Let's face it, we all have some kind of imperfection, something about ourselves that we don't like, that we don't really want others to see or point out or talk about or criticize us for. And, these are used oftentimes as an excuse not to do the things that we're supposed to be doing. So these are some of the things that we say. I've got them written down here. I don't like the way my hair looks. My English isn't great. I don't like the sound of my voice. I stutter. I say too much. I don't like being on camera. I'm too dark. I'm too pale. My grammar isn't perfect. I have a scar. I'm too skinny. I'm too fat. I'm too short. I'm too tall. And the list goes on and on and on. But guess what? Newsflash. No one is perfect. Everyone's got some sort of imperfection. Even the people that you admire and you say, oh, how beautiful that person is or how great they are. They have some sort of insecurities. They have something that they don't like, that they feel self-conscious about. But does it stop them from putting themselves out there? Does it stop them from creating businesses? Does it stop them from going to school? Does it stop them from going shopping, going out to eat, doing other things in everyday life that is probably less important in some cases than actually taking charge of your future, taking charge of your goals and the dreams and aspirations that you have by building the business you say you want to build and building the community that you want, so you can actually give more, be more of service, and make money in the process. So you have to look at your priorities, and again, go back to the point that I made earlier. Let's go back to that point of, it's not about you, it's about them. It's about your audience, the people that you're trying to help. They are expecting, they're looking to you to not hoard the information, not hold on to the information, right? And, die with it in your head. You need to share it. You need to be able to help other people. That's why we're here on the earth, to be of service to other people and help them further their cause, and in turn help you further your cause. So forget about the imperfections. If you don't like writing, you can do videos. You can do a podcast. If you don't like doing videos, you can do a podcast, or you can do blog posts and so on and so forth. If it's content marketing you're looking to start doing, and you're trying to tell yourself, oh, I don't like these various things, there's always an option and a solution around it. However, the things that really are going to move the needle are the things that you probably don't want to do. And that's a signal that you should be doing these things. And you have to really prioritize and say, look, what am I doing this for? What's my goal? What's the ultimate thing that I'm trying to do? So this is a little bit of a longer one. I'm trying to wrap this up now. Number 10 is to join a mastermind group. That's the last point I'm going to make. A mastermind group is a group of people that are similar, that bounce ideas off each other. They meet up quite regularly, and they can be a support network and be there to kind of get you through and to help you with the mindset issues as well, because you can see that they're doing the same things that you're doing, and you can kind of be like this close-knit group that help out each other. Look online, look on Facebook. It could be a physical one as well. You have lots of Facebook groups. That's a great place to start. And you can ask around if you know anyone that's within the niche or within the area that you operate, and they live in your community, and you can reach out to them and say, look, this is what I'm doing. I'm looking to join any groups. Do they know any? And that's another way that you can actually build, overcome the mindset issue of imposter syndrome. That's what I'm talking about today, right? So if you like this content, please share it. Leave me a comment down below if you agree with any of what I'm saying, or if you disagree, leave a comment just the same and share your thoughts on that. If you like these types of videos, I'm hoping to do more content like this as well, because mindset is big. We can learn all the technical stuff and all the other things, but the mindset thing is what stops us a lot of the times from making that progress. And until we overcome that and reprogram, change the things that we've been taught since we were kids, if these things weren't in alignment with the things we're supposed to do, then we need to take conscious actions to overcome that first before we jump into anything else. You have to level up your mind first before you can level up everything else. That's what I'm doing right now, leveling up with the mindset things for myself, and I'm sharing this with you. And I hope that you have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.